my TikTok feed this morning had nothing but this New York DA on it. Nothing but her traffic stop, basically, I think is what it was. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Let's pull up the article. Here we go. New York District Attorney Sandra Doorley on video refusing to pull over for officer and traffic stop. Okay, so the video's hilarious. But basically, what happened was a few days ago, the DA, she makes it very clear in the video, she's the DA. She's got a freaking badge and everything, dude. But Doorley, let's watch the video. Let's watch the video. Let's see how she's acting and what exactly unfolds here. And then I think we can make an assessment from there. So let's watch the video. Let's pull that up here we go.
I understand that, but that doesn't give you a right to go 55 and a 35. And you even admitted to me that you went 50. I understand that, ma'am. I understand that.
You know what? If you give me a traffic ticket, it's fine. I'm the one who prosecutes it, okay? Just go ahead and do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just don't understand the hostility. I understand you're coming home from work.
And half the time I was on the phone with Dennis telling him, why are you pulling me over?
You're not even supposed to be on the phone to begin with. You should know that.
I'm hands-free? Absolutely.
Okay.
You should know the law.
Okay. If it is hands-free, that's great. But at the end of the day, you're going 55 and a 35. That's 20 miles over the speed limit.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. You know what I've been dealing with all day? 3 murders in the city. And do you think I really care if I was going 20 miles over the speed limit?
Okay, I'm just doing my job. If you pulled over when you saw my lights, which obviously you did.
I thought you were going somewhere else because I thought no one would ever pull.
Dude, okay, so Doorley, Ms. Doorley was coming from lunch. She was coming from lunch at 2:30, late lunch. And we're gonna go ahead and just assume this wasn't in the report. This wasn't a part of the official release, but we're going to assume that she was probably drinking. I mean, you don't act like that especially as the DA. She was elected as the New York DA in 2011. So she's been the district attorney for more than 10 years, for almost 15 years. Almost 15 years, I think 13. She's been the DA, and why wouldn't she pull over? Why wouldn't she? She's doing 55 in a 35. Hey, that's illegal. That's against the law. That's against the rules, lady. And so obviously she thinks she has a badge of power. She gets her badge out, and she's not stopping. She's not stopping. The cop's trying to pull her over, and she doesn't stop. She drives home. The cop got his lights on, flashing his siren, whoop, 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 right behind her. She says, I didn't hear you. I was on the phone. I had my AirPods in. I was on the phone. And then the officer has the audacity to say, well, you shouldn't be on the phone while you're driving either. And she's like, well, actually, no, I can. Hands-free, bitch. So clearly, it's very clear she was intoxicated. I'm surprised they didn't give her a breathalyzer. Why they didn't give this woman a breathalyzer test is actually beside me. I'm very curious as to why they didn't give her. I mean, that might have caused even more issues, I guess, probably, right? That probably would have caused more issues. And so she tries to call her boss. She tries to call the sergeant, lieutenant. She tries to call anyone she can to get out of it. And she's just blaming it on a bad day. Hey, can you blame? We all have bad days. The last time I just got done dealing with 3 murders. I just got sent a video of a murder, and my fiance got a medical diagnosis that we weren't expecting, And when like people are yelling at me all day, leave it, it's not working, that is all I hear all day. I'm gonna like, fuck it. I'm doing 50 and a 25 and I'm going home. I want to get home. I want to have another glass of wine like I just had at lunch. And I want to make it home just in time for, you know, my evening shows. And if you can't respect that, then I'm going to need you to not try to pull me over, officer. Okay? Listen. And then she hiccups. And then, listen, if it's so funny. The apology, dude, it's just the layers of excuses.
I just come from work. I was dealing with 3 homicides that occurred over the weekend. I watched a video where an innocent cab driver was executed. And I was still reeling from a frightening medical concern that my husband received that afternoon. But we all had bad days and stress, and it was wrong for me to take it out on an officer who was simply doing his job.
She thought we would do what? We would just use our power, like just tossing out. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Like, you know what I mean? That's ballsy to an officer, dude. Like, no, he probably doesn't. Like, if you put 6 people in front of me and ask me, hey, who's the district attorney in your state or whatever local government? I don't know. Who's the district attorney? I don't know. Do you? You don't? No. Fuck off. Like, no one know. Like, you don't know who the district attorney is, dude. And so, like, these officers, they take him, she drives all the way home. Is the best part about the whole thing is she drives all the way home. You know what I mean? Now apparently you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that, or like you're supposed to pull over wherever you feel safe. So but then again, like if you go home, then they think like you're going to ambush the cops. There was one time when I was working at Wendys. And if you've ever driven down 83 South, you know exactly which Wendys I worked at. And so Wendys, I had this manager and her name was Pat, and Pat was the shit. I'm pretty sure we've talked about Pat on this podcast before, but my manager from Wendys, Pat, if you're listening, shout out to you. Comment below, let me know, like whatever, like come on the pod, yo. Like let's talk about some stories from back in the day. Shout out to Pat, my manager from Wendys at the time. And I mean, this was back, this was probably 2008. This was 2008 almost. This is over 15 years ago. This was almost 15 years ago. My manager, Pat, pulls into her shift at Wendys with a cop with his lights on and sirens. She had him follow her for like 10 miles the whole way down the highway. She said he started pulling her over as soon as she got on the highway, and she's got a 15-minute drive to work. So she made this cop follow her with his lights, his sirens, all the way to Wendys. And as like the main boss manager dude who's like there all the time, who I'm pretty sure is like cousin owned the Wendys or whatever, he's just like watching this with the most disgusted and aggravated look on his face as Pat, my manager, gangster. She was awesome, dude. Pat was, she pulling in the cops to your job as a manager at Wendys is one of the most gangster things you can do. Dude, Pat would listen, man. I mean, and her actual name's not Pat. So like, it's fine. We called her Pat. That was her nickname, so she wouldn't get in trouble. Pat would take the coins out of the little donation, like the little donation box, like the Ronald McDonald Kids, like the Wendys Housing Homeless Children Foundation, the like Dave's Wendys Foundation, the money you're donating in the little slot, like the little coin you put $1.25 in to donate to the kids. Pat would take the change out of those boxes and put it in the register to replace the money that she took out of it to help pay, for bills or whatever she needed. Like if Pat needed $20, she got the key, unlocked the donation box, counted out $20 in quarters, put that $20 in quarters in the register and took a 20 spot out. And now she's got a 20. And I mean, this is back in 2008. $20 got you all day. $20 sometimes got you for a few days. Back in 2008, when we're talking gas prices, Turkey Hill prices, grocery store prices, $20 got you somewhere. And if you needed $20, you needed $20. And so, Pat let us take home bags of frozen nuggets. I would hand my father bags of frozen chicken nuggets, bags of frozen spicy chicken patties that we would use for the sandwiches. I would hand him all types of shit out the drive-through window, and he would take off and he would just go home and put it in the freezer so we could have Wendys at home whenever, and we didn't pay for it. He wasn't paying for it. What was he going to do? I rang him up for like a 4-piece nugget and he paid $3 and I handed him 6 bags of frozen uncooked chicken, or it was cooked or whatever. It's half cooked. It's fast food. It's all frozen. You know what I mean? So I just handed it to my dad out the window because Pat said, go for it. And so she made this cop follow her all the way, dude, to the Wendys. I'll never forget that day. It was so awesome. She came in like a boss. She was like, yeah, I made that motherfucker follow me. I wasn't pulling over on the side of the highway. I made that motherfucker follow me the whole way here. Laughing as she went and collected the coins from the frickin' Dave's Foundation Homeless Children's Charity box to pay for the ticket that the cop just gave her. So listen, this DA, she's a little gangster. The DA, a little gangster. And if you don't know who she is now, you certainly do. And you'll think twice before you pull her over because she's going to have your supervisor on the phone instantly. And she's like, she's gangster. She's like, I'm going to prosecute this tomorrow. I'm the one that takes care of these tickets, asshole. I'm going to prosecute this tomorrow. I'll plead guilty, I'll pay my fine, and I'll make this go away. It's so funny that when, obviously the body cam footage, we're all supposed to look at this and go, oh my gosh, that lady's a monster. That lady's terrible. Oh, can you believe this DA trying to use her power? But guess what, babe? She got away with it, didn't she? Guess what, babe? She's still the DA, isn't she? Guess what, babe? They haven't even opened an investigation. People are calling for an investigation. And guess what? The investigation will go nowhere. What are they going to investigate? If she was drunk, she's sober now. And if, you know what I mean? What are they going to investigate? And then do what? Find out she did have a glass of wine at lunch? Find out that she did have an alcoholic beverage when she was out to lunch with another colleague? Guess what? That's life, babes. That's the industry. I'd be lying if I said I didn't go out with my clients, my coworkers, my boss. It's agency life. We're in the agency world. She's in the professional world. You go out to lunch. You get an alcoholic beverage. You don't overdo it. You're responsible. That's why you're allowed to do it, because you're a responsible adult. But if she had one too many and she was doing 55 and a 35, that then becomes an issue. And she just wanted to get home. She just wanted to get home because she had a really, really, really hard day. And this police officer, unfortunately, didn't understand that. And so, dude, I mean, she's got a little gangster in her. And I think she's just, the apology video, this will all go away. This will all go away. And she will have won from the powers that be. She's got the boss on hand. She's got everyone on the phone. She's got all of your badge numbers. She's got them all written down. And she's going to win. She's gonna freaking win.